Hello and welcome back to Quarterline. Today we're going to look at another Japanese classic, not a sports car this time, but the Toyota Crown. The Toyota Crown was first produced in 1955 and is known as a living legend because at least the name is still in production today, making it the longest running name for Toyota. The particular brochure we're looking at today is for the third generation. The third generation ran from September 67 until 1971 under various guises. The brochure we're looking at is showing the wagon, but it's also showing the pickup as well. I mean, how rare is a Toyota Crown pickup? So rare, it's not been produced. I think 1971 is when the Toyota Hilux came, and that kind of like ended the pickup, but it does show it in this brochure, so it's particularly unusual. Here is the brochure. It's showing the new Toyota Crown, and the little dealer stamp, which we'll have a look at a bit later on, is from Wakefield. So this is actually a UK brochure. I would imagine this must be, I can't imagine there being any on the roads, but certainly must be the rarest car on British roads, if any exists. I'm sure some of the later generations may have one or two around. I'm not sure if there's any of these third generations, but if there is, please let me know. The brochure's in very good condition, and like I say, it's in the new Toyota Crown, so it's going to be one of the earlier brochures. But anyway, let's have a look at it in a bit more detail. Oh no, so here we go. This is kind of like the a better look at the front cover. That dealer stamp that I mentioned before is actually from Frank Senior Limited, Motor Engineers, Stanley Road, Wakefield. I don't know if anyone's from Wakefield, but let me know if there's anything still there, and maybe even when that was closed down. If it has done, I'm sure it has. This is, I'm sure, from the 60s. Now, this third generation Toyota Crown really came about to meet the challenge of Japan's rapidly growing superhighways, and it came under a design name under the beauty of Japan, which was graceful styling and subtle curves, and you can really see them in this generation. I do think it's an attractive looking vehicle with still keeping it as a very practical estate or wagon. It was also a real move away for the Toyota Crown. It was also always seen as more of a sort of like government vehicle rather than a vehicle for individuals. It was often seen in black, and this particular one was really something that was going to be sold to individuals, so they actually marketed it as a white vehicle, a very popular colour in Japan. Great care was taken to eliminate noise, vibration and harshness to make it a very sort of civilized family vehicle. Toyota Crowns, of course, extremely popular, as we've mentioned, and by 1970, during the third generation, Toyota Crown production had actually reached 1 million units. So it was building and building. The Toyota Crown, of course, was a superb vehicle and a very successful vehicle for Toyota, hence why the Crown name has lasted such a long time. Let's have a look inside the brochure and see what else we can see. Okay, now as you look inside the brochure itself, it's very difficult not to focus on that Toyota Crown pickup. So let's look straight away at the right hand side. Like I say, an extremely rare vehicle. I've never seen one on British roads. Around about 1971, of course, the Toyota Hilux came about and kind of like ended the Toyota Crown pickup. So very, very rare, but a great design. I love how it follows the wagon, the front end looking the same. Still a very stylish looking pickup for sure, and still having a 6-cylinder engine like the wagon does. So I'm sure it was a very useful vehicle. On this, you also notice on here the interior. It's very black. This is like the 60s. kind of like a interior that reminds me more of the 70s, to be honest with you. But an extremely well appointed vehicle overall. This Toyota Crown, as you can see on the estate or wagon version, has got this like drop down tailgate, similar to the pickup, I guess. This was the only time it was ever used on the Toyota Crown in this first generation. And it shows here, it says rear gate is wide opening for easier loading and access. Its power window is standard. So quite a well appointed vehicle overall. These folding down seats, all the equipment, yes, it's showing wind down windows on there, but for the time it's certainly a well appointed vehicle. Like I said, an extremely rare car today. I'm saying I don't think I've ever seen the pickup on British roads. I don't think I've ever seen this third generation on British roads. So a very rare car, and even later generations are extremely rare on British roads today. So here we have the rear page, as often it is, the specification page. Great little graphic on the top showing, you know, how much you can actually fit in there with sort of like 4 or 5 passengers, and then they've folded the seats down to get this huge area for loading, and also that huge area for loading on the pickup as well. I like that little graphic, it's very, very nice. Like we say, it's a 6-cylinder inline engine, and it's a 2253 cc unit. You got different transmissions. You can have a 3-speed manual, a 4-speed manual, and an automatic. The automatic was referred to as the Toyo Glide automatic. I kind of like wanted the automatic just for its name alone, the Toyo Glide automatic. What a great name for it. If we move on to the optional extras, it's showing it's got front separate reclining seat belts, air conditioner, that 3-speed Toyo Glide automatic transmission, which is actually an optional only on the station wagon. The front powered disc brakes, you can have heaters and defrosters, electric clock, AM radio, and something they refer to as a short wave adapter. Overall, a fantastic car. I do like the Toyota Crowns, certainly the earlier Toyota Crowns, very much. I don't think this is my favourite generation, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So there we go, the Toyota Crown third generation wagons and pickups. Like I said, I do really like this car. It's just not my favourite generation. My favourite generation is actually the model that superseded this, the 4th generation. I particularly like that front end on the 4th generation, which is kind of like got a 2-step kind of like front end on it. It is one of my favourites. Ran from around about 71 to 74. Hopefully at some point I'll try and do a brochure review on that one. Let me know if you've got a favourite generation, if you've got any memories of the Toyota Crown from these earlier days, maybe as a family vehicle or a relative or a friend had one, or indeed if you've got any version of the Toyota Crown today. Thank you so much for watching Quarterlight again. Like I always say, please do like and subscribe. It really does help the channel greatly, and your comments will always be answered. But for now, we'll say take care and goodbye.